So
no,
I get
Speaking
it.
of getting hyped up for the World Cup, is it time we transition?
Oh my God, I was just gonna do that, sir. I appreciate you. So
Well, briefly, Mexican coach Javier Aguirre covered in blood after being struck by a can thrown from the stands following Mexico's loss in Honduras, which brings us to Honduras.
Now I'm gonna say this. Hold on, before you rant.
Whoa,
that's pretty metal. Like the video of it's pretty rad. He does not flinch very hard.
I can't watch it.
No, he doesn't. No, the man just literally just takes his hit.
Yeah, he just takes it like a fucking G. He's just like, whatever.
So, out of all the Mexican national team coaches, like, this man is like the one I probably respect the most. Like, not just because of what happened here, but just the fact that he has coached in Spain for different teams. He's coached the Mexican national team multiple times now because this is like their messiah for them. But I don't agree what happened to him here. I think it's, stuff like that shouldn't be happening at the stadium. I think it's just stupid. He didn't deserve that.
He did double bird the crowd, correct?
Yeah, but you know what?
I'm not condoning. I'm just asking.
Yeah. I get it, but I mean, people talk crap all the time, like back and forth. People say stuff all the time.
I agree.
It doesn't mean that you're gonna bash somebody's head with a can. Now, granted, I do blame the Honduran Federation for, not being more aware of what they saw in the stadium. Because, dude, when you go to Soldier Field, you cannot get a can. You have to get that thing poured in a plastic cup, a plastic bottle. You have to give them the top. They're not gonna let you walk up.
Give them the top. Yep.
Oh my God!
And
guys, look at that.
But this is like, man, who was the genius that said, hey, let's get some cans and let's sell these cans? Like, did nobody think this was gonna happen?
Well, you don't want the nanny state giving you all these regulations and rules.
No, I get that, but I think with everything that has happened before this game, like,
he barely flinched.
Like, I know.
Yeah, he barely flinched.
I know, like everything that has happened before.
He still puts his hand out to shake the hand of the coach.
That's the thing. Though. Like, before the game started, like, this man was literally talking to the Honduran national team coach. They were like talking, just like casual talking, like two friends talking, like nothing serious. Like, this man has not said a bad thing about Honduras. Now, the Mexican press, on the other hand, I cannot defend what they have said prior to this game. Probably the reason why everybody was so heated during this game.
So that Honduras lost this game, correct?
No. So they won the game in Honduras. They won 2-0.
Oh, okay. So they won 2-0, and then So that kind of sucks too. Is you threw a can at the guy. It's not like it's not like, oh, everybody's pissed off because we got smashed. That sucks.
They had won the game. The game was over. Aguirre was actually walking out to go shake the hand of the head coach, and somebody decided, hey, let's just throw a can at him. And this is what happens. And of course, CONCACAF already gave its ruling. Honduras has to play its next game behind closed doors with no fans.
Oh, really? Because of that? Oh, no way.
They dodge a bullet, and I'll tell you why. If it would have been a multi-game ban, it would have actually crept into the World Cup qualifying games. So I think they have the play-in game against Bermuda that they're playing in. I think they're playing home and away. So they're probably going to play that game with no crowd. But then they have a qualifier game in June against I don't even know what team, but some Caribbean team.
Dude, Honduras beating Mexico. That's crazy.
Well, the thing is, Mexico.
At home, they beat them 2-0, but look at the next game. That's the problem. Also, did I see Andy Najar's 40-year-old self playing still? Yeah, he's still playing. And you know what? He's actually not bad.
Wow.
So here's the thing. Mexico doesn't have that great of a record in Honduras. Like, honestly, out of all the other CONCACAF teams outside of the U.S., I think Honduras has the claim of beating Mexico more times, after the U.S. Because Mexico, I can literally count in my hand how many times Mexico has beat Honduras in Honduras, like maybe twice these past 20 years.
That's wild, man. Like this, so they got their number. Now,
they have their number in Honduras, yes. And this
so
is
what
why
happened at Azteca?
They didn't play in Azteca. They actually went. They went into a higher elevation. They decided to play this game in Toluca.
Really?
Which is a higher elevation. It got so bad, and this is why I like you mentioned before how the U.S. is a big country. Like, obviously when the U.S. goes to play Mexico and Azteca, they go train in Colorado because you have a higher altitude. You need the players to get used to that altitude because the air is thinner, stuff like that. Here's the thing. The players first, I want to say that the coach didn't really. I think it was a mismanagement of players, a lack of logistics, meaning that this team actually flew into Toluca the night before the game. So you're not giving the players.
Can't do that. Right. Yeah,
you can't. You're not giving the players time to adjust to that altitude and whatnot. And it got so bad that during the game you had players asking for oxygen.
Oh, that's impossible. You can't do that.
So it was a logistical issue. It was a man management, and the fact is Honduras cannot defend from crosses. Like they couldn't defend crosses. I don't know if it was because of lack of oxygen, because obviously your mind,
yeah, your brain isn't working.
Your brain isn't getting enough oxygen, so you're kind of making mistakes. I don't know what it is, but obviously Mexico, especially when your team plays and Liga MX on a regular basis, you get to play in different altitudes, so you're already you're adjusted to that.
I'm looking at the record here. DPG, can you see this for the last two matches between Honduras? So yeah, Honduras, the last two games at the Estadio for Honduras when Honduras is home, they've won.
Yeah, Honduras. Yeah, Honduras is a bogey team for Mexico, but
and keep in mind, we're like the only Honduras is the second team after Costa Rica to beat Mexico in the Azteca on a World Cup qualifier.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I won a lot of money off of that.
Like
I won
the
a
US,
lot of money off of that.
I'm still waiting for the US to beat Mexico in the Azteca. Like it's not a matter of when. No, it's not even a matter of if. It's a matter of when.
I mean, we should have did it last time, man.
Yes.
That would have been lit. But anyway, so bad man management. He didn't rotate the squad enough.
So, we had injuries,
quick enough.
Lack of logistics because of the whole altitude situation. It's like we've seen Messi.
They had a 2-goal lead though going into the game.
I know this is what it is. You're playing in a hostile environment. It's a bunch of combinations of things that can go bad. Like we've seen Messi lose against Bolivia and La Paz. So. And on top of that, now you gave the Mexican press ammunition because prior to this game, they were like, we got to fire Aguirre. This team sucks. This team is the worst generation ever. Now they beat Honduras 4-0. And now it's like, oh my God, we are good again.
There's life.
Great. There's life. Wow. We, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is that we know how this story ends. We all seen this. Mexico is going to go into the final of the Nations League. And who's going to be on the other side?
Panama.
Nope. God, no. God, no. We all know. So I think, I'm going to say this. Overall, I think there was some positive with this Honduras game. But there's still obviously more work to be done.
Are they building anything, or are they shuffling along until you guys find a generational talent?
So it still looks like we're far away from that mid 2000s to like mid 2010s generation. When we had I consider that like the best generation. We're still looking a little far from that. Luis Palma, the guy that plays for Celtic. Right now, he's like the bright spot on the team. Like everybody else, and I was telling this to someone, like the Honduran team back in 2010, the whole lineup, they were all foreign based. They were all playing in Europe. They're playing for Tottenham. They're playing for Roma. They're playing for big clubs, Inter Milan. And then now you look at the lineup now, and like half the squad plays like in the local league. So.
Well, I mean, is the Honduran league getting any better?
No, that's I no. When you and it's funny because I every now and then I'll go, I mean, I check the Honduran press every day to see what's the latest sports stuff, and every now and then I'll run into like an article talking about how this club cannot afford it, hasn't been paying their players for like the past 3 months or something like that.
That sucks.
But yeah,
that sucks. So wait, does your family have a Honduran club that they support?
So my wife's family, they're big they're big marathon fans.
Okay.
The teams I kind of grew up supporting Olympia. That's the team that's based out in the capital.
Okay.
And I'm not from the capital. I just like the fact that this is like the only professional, or at least this is like the only professional team that the Honduran league has. Olympia, Motagua, and probably the third place team.
Oh, well, they're in first right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have the most professional setup. That's what I would say. They have the most professional setup.
There's only 3 that actually have crests imported into the internet.
Like, if you take the top 4 teams, those top 4 teams have actually gone and competed like in the Champions League.
So, okay, in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah.
Man, I wish that they're ruining that too, man. Anyway.